You started 4 businesses, 3 side hustles, 2 YouTube channels, 1 podcast, and you finished none of them. You tell yourself it's because they weren't the right fit. The timing was off. The market was saturated. But here's what you won't admit. You didn't quit because it wasn't working. You quit because it was about to. Stay with me for the next few minutes because I'm going to show you the exact psychological pattern that makes you abandon ship right before breakthrough and how the wealthy have figured out how to push through the moment everyone else quits. This isn't about motivation. It's about understanding when your brain is lying to you. Let me take you inside the mind of someone who's about to quit. Day 1 to 30, excitement, new project energy. Everything feels possible. You're posting, you're building, you're showing up. Day 31 to 90, slow down. The dopamine is fading. Results aren't matching the effort. You're still showing up, but it's harder now. Day 90 is where identity collapses. The excitement is gone. The results aren't visible. And now it's just you. No audience cheering you on. No validation. No proof it's working. Just effort disappearing into a void. And your brain starts whispering, "This isn't working. You're wasting your time. Maybe this isn't for you." So you quit. And here's the brutal part. Most breakthroughs don't look like breakthroughs. They look like silence, right before momentum compounds. Want to know how I know? Because successful businesses typically take 3 to 5 years to become profitable. And if you look around, most people don't even make it past the first few months. YouTube channels that hit monetization, they post consistently for 12 to 18 months. But most creators have already disappeared by month 6. People who build real wealth through investing, they stay in the market for decades. Everyone else panic sells after the first dip. You're not failing because your ideas are bad. You're failing because you're quitting in the middle of the most important part, the part where nothing visible is happening, but everything structural is building. Here's what nobody tells you about wealth. The gap between this isn't working and this is working is terrifyingly small. Like 2 weeks small, 1 month small, one more product launch small. But your brain can't see that gap. All it sees is effort without immediate reward. And your brain is biologically wired to interpret that as danger. But here's the real reason you quit. Quitting gives you something progress doesn't. It gives you relief. Relief feels better than delayed success. Think about it. When you quit, the pressure stops. The uncertainty ends. The voice in your head that says, "You're not doing enough," goes silent. Finally, that relief is addictive. It's why you've quit multiple times. Not because you're weak, because quitting feels like solving the problem. Except it's not. It's just resetting the clock on the only problem that matters, that you never finish anything. Let me explain the neuroscience. Your brain operates on something called intermittent reinforcement. When you first start something, every action feels meaningful. Posted on Instagram? Feels productive. Sent an email? Feels like progress. Made a sale? Feels like validation. But over time, the reward-to-effort ratio drops. You're doing the same actions, but getting less feedback. Your brain interprets this as failure. It's not. It's called the buildup phase. Think of it like compound interest. Year 1, you invest $10,000. End of year, $10,500. You made $500. Feels like nothing. Year 2, you invest another $10,000. End of year, $21,525. You made $1,525. Still feels slow. Year 10, you've invested $100,000 total. Your account is worth $170,000. You made $70,000 just from compound growth. But if you quit in year 2 because it's not working fast enough, you never get to year 10. That's what you're doing with your businesses, with your content, with your skills. You're quitting in year 2. Here's the part that should terrify you. Wealthy people aren't smarter. They don't have better ideas. They don't work harder. They just have a higher tolerance for the gap between effort and result, the gap between I'm working and it's working, the gap between investment and return. Poor people need to see results in 30 days. Middle-class people can wait 6 months. Wealthy people are comfortable waiting 3 to 5 years. That's it. That's the entire difference. So why do you keep quitting? Because you're measuring progress wrong. You're measuring by results. Wealthy people measure by consistency. You think, I posted 50 times and only got 10 followers. This isn't working. They think, I posted 50 times. I'm 50 posts closer to the algorithm understanding my content. You think, I reached out to 100 potential clients and got 2 sales. This is failing. They think, I reached out to 100 people. I'm learning exactly what messaging works. You're counting outcomes. They're counting reps. And here's the kicker. You never know which rep was the one that would have changed everything. But you guarantee it won't happen the moment you stop. You'll never know if you were 1 video away, 1 email away, 1 month away, because you quit. So here's what changes everything. Stop asking, is this working? Start asking, am I doing the reps? Because the reps always work, eventually. You just have to be there when they do. Here's your homework, and I need you to do this tonight. Go look at the last 3 things you quit. Write down the day you gave up. Now ask yourself, what if I had kept going for 30 more days? Because that's probably all it would have taken. Wealth isn't built by people who start. It's built by people who stay. So here's my challenge. Pick one thing. Commit to 6 months. No quitting, no pivoting, no trying something else. 6 months. Then come back and tell me what happened. Comment below, I'm committing to blank for 6 months. Let's see who actually finishes something for once. The only difference between you and the life you want is whether you stay long enough to deserve it.